Greetings, this is Stasia Bliss, Kundalini Queen, helping you navigate a spiritual awakening up in the mountains of Pasadena, California today. And I want to talk about valuing all the parts of an awakening process. So we've talked about before how there's two poles in the body, a positive and a negative. In the spine, this is the Ida and Pingala energy, the solar and the lunar energy, that in the awakening process, its goal is to unite in the pineal gland as one force, as one whole charge, which is a combination of the positive and negative. So in our bodies and in our lives, we get to value all the experiences that come up, the positive and the negative, as both equally important in the awakening process. So when we have a quote-unquote negatively charged experience, we get to look for its positive counterpart so that those two things can alchemize and we can go to the next level. So for example, you have like a difficult conversation or a difficult experience that ignites some kind of a negative emotion in yourself. And I'm using positive and negative just because culturally that's how we've learned to talk. But eventually we get to see how these things are just crucial two parts of a whole. So when we have, say, a frustrating experience, then we can see how that frustrating experience is serving us. What is it causing us to do? What is it igniting in us? What does it make us turn to instead? So that's the positive polarity of the negative. And when we notice both of those things, that's Ida and Pingala uniting somewhere in the passage of the spine. So depending on what that subject matter is around, that's the chakra point that's being ignited. So if it's around safety, security, grounding, money stuff, that's first chakra stuff. So we get to see the value of it and we get to alchemize that first chakra. If it's in a relationship and you're working in the higher chakras to unite and have a unity field with somebody else, then oftentimes one person acts out one pole and the other person acts out the other one, and that's the necessary alchemical equation needed for that relationship to then alchemize and go to the next level. So there's an awakening that happens between people as well as within our body. And there's also a collective awakening that's going on. So we can do this in the world as well, where we see something that looks like a negative situation or experience or circumstance process that's happening, and we can look to what is the positive polarity of that, what is the benefit of that, or what's the opposite spectrum. Like if this quote-unquote terrible thing is happening, then there must be the positive polarity happening somewhere else. There's always both happening. It's just our job of consciousness to see both sides so that we can play alchemist and we can merge those poles and have a different experience. That's not one or the other. That's actually a different reality altogether. So when we're playing alchemist in ourselves, in relationship, or in the collective, we get to look for negative and positive and bring them together. That's the job. And that's the idea of valuing all the parts of awakening. Everything has a purpose. The depression, the anxiety, the frustration, the seeming conflicts or battles we have with each other or in ourselves, those all serve the purpose of awakening. So find that today in any conflicts that you have and enjoy your day. Get out somewhere beautiful, soothe that vagus nerve, and I'll see you next time.